And we are live. What's going on, everybody? I'm Adam. This is Open Late. And tonight I will be opening my very first Creative Beast Studios figure. Is this an action figure? I guess this is a dinosaur action figure. Now, this is from the Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series. These are 1/18th scale dinosaur. Oh, it says right here, 1/18th scale dinosaur action figures. So they're action figures. This is, as far as I can tell from everything that I've sort of gathered from everybody that seems to know anything about dinosaur action figures, these are as good as they get. Now, full disclosure, I got this Beast of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series Avaceraops lammersi because because I'm excited for Cyberzoic, and I couldn't wait for the Cyberzoic stuff. So I decided I should probably get a dinosaur and sort of get an idea of what I'm getting myself into as far as the dinosaurs go. Now, of course, there will be action figures as well as lasers and stuff like that with the Cyberzoic stuff. But as I said, I just couldn't wait, and so I decided to dip my toe, as it were, into the Creative Beast Studios line. This is the Avaceraops. Now, depending on how much I like this, I may pick up one or two more. I've got my eye on a couple more, but I thought, this guy is one of the smaller ones. The price was okay. So I thought, if nothing else, I get a cool dinosaur. And I'll be honest, I picked this guy based on the aesthetic, the look. I like the colors, and I'm just, I say all the time, I'm not a dinosaur guy, but I do love dinosaurs. I mean, they're cool. I don't know. I'm not a dinosaur guy in the sense that, like, I know lots about, G.I. Joe. I know lots about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I know lots about Dragon Ball. I don't know dinosaurs unless they were in Jurassic Park. I mean, I know most of the species in Jurassic Park, but Avaceratops, never heard of it until I looked at the Beasts of the Mesozoic website. So, I did, it just looks cool. I picked it because it's a cool color. I picked it because I like the look of it. Like I said, there's other ones that I like the look of. So if I like this action figure, there's a very good chance that I'm gonna get a couple more of the Beast of the Mesozoic. Now there's more to my motivation for grabbing this and potentially a couple others, which will come out in time. After talking to the guys from Creative Beast, when I was at Legion's Con, um, I was sort of inspired to pick up a couple dinos, but we will discuss that at a later date, I think. Before we get too far, let me just say hello to the chat. Star is hanging out. What's going on, Star? And Star, as as usual, Star has filled up the comments. If I had one person hanging out and watching, and it was Star, I would have a full conversation to go off of, because Star, you're always very active in the chat. Sathium is here. What's going on, Sath? Star said, I joined the Kickstarter on the first wave of Raptors, but after there got to be so many, I had to drop out. Couldn't afford all of those at one time. Yes, and Star, I think you are. Is it with every line, Star, that you're a completist? So, like, as soon as you go in on a line, you kind of have to get everything. I don't have that. Um, I like to get a shelf full of stuff. I don't like to have one ofs, but I don't need everything. Star says 1/18th. They look bigger. I don't know if I mean it says 1/18th on the box. I don't know how accurate that is, to be to be honest. Star says I didn't think that Avas were all that big. I don't know anything about Avas, so maybe they were, maybe they weren't, right? So Matt's Universal Toy Hunter is here. What's going on, Eldor? I see Thanos Copter is in the chat as well. Good to have you guys. Rob Zamora as well. Looks cool, but I don't collect anything 1/18 scale. Man, I thought I'd gotten out of 1/18. There wasn't anything that I was buying in 1/18 scale. And then, a bunch of people are doing new O-ring stuff. And Cyberzoic came out, and I was like, well, maybe I was a little too quick getting rid of all my 1/18 stuff. Payne's Toy Samples is here as well. Just stopping in to do my best like buttoning. Payne's Toy Samples, man. I hope you can get all that stuff sorted out with the water issue that you had. Star says, "What's up, Payne?" Thanos says, "Hey, Payne." Everybody's happy that Payne's here. Rob Zamora, I wanted to do Acid Rain. I looked at the Acid Rain stuff. I looked at the Joy Toy stuff. Like, there's just a lot of good stuff that's still coming out in the 1/18 scale. Dom over at Toy Domination, and like he's big into the world building stuff, and those guys are all doing world building at 1/18 scale. Cyberzoic came around, and I was like, world building at 1/18 scale doesn't sound like the worst idea ever, because it really is so much more manageable. And I say that having just gotten my email from Hasbro that says there's his tanks on the way. So I'm gonna figure out where to put those. And I got Dragonflies on the way, and I got Vamps on the way, and it's like, maybe 1/12 scale world building's not the best idea, but hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Seems like a dangerous rabbit hole to go down. Yeah, I mean, I think I can limit myself to the Cyberzoic stuff, because it's Dino Riders, right? That's what I kind of keep telling myself, is that it's a line that I really wanted to come back. It's not Dino Riders, but it's about as close as you're gonna get. And lore wise, the IP seems very intriguing, and I'm really sort of looking forward to where they're gonna go with it. So Paint Toy Samples is gonna be slow going, but could be worse. That's it sucks, but I mean, I think if anybody is don't take this the wrong way, if anybody is suited to have something like that happen in their life, I think you are probably that person. So you are very level-headed, and you seem to be very positive, and don't really get things get you down. So it sucks, but you'll get through it, and I think that. So that's always good. So the Star says, not the prices Joy Toy is charging. Joy Toy, I mean, look. Okay, once I get this guy out of the box, we'll talk about Joy Toy a little bit more. But anyway, that's for Thanos says, yeah, I really dig their Warhammer stuff, but I admire from afar. The Warhammer, I don't. Joy Toy seems to be going hard on Warhammer. I don't know anything about Warhammer. It doesn't mean anything to me. So I'm not buying it. Some other Joy Toy stuff I might buy. More on that when we get this dinosaur out of the box. As far as the box goes, see, that was a pretty good segue, don't you think? As far as the box goes, it's an interesting idea, because they've basically got like a slip cover, not slip cover, but like a sleeve on here. So the art that's on this box, which is really nice art, I don't know the name of the artist, so forgive me if you're the artist and you're watching this. They're not, but if they are, but they're not. The art's really, really great. And the beasts of the Mesozoic do a really good job as far as that kind of thing goes. So we got a nice big window here, but that slides right off and you get even more of a window. Now, I don't really know why that would be the choice, why they would do the slipcover like that. If I ever get a chance to ask David, I definitely will. Because it feels like you could have just sort of done this on the box and done it in one thing, and it would have been, one, more cost effective, and two, less prone to damage. This is long term, this is just going to get banged around and damaged. That's just my opinion. On the side, we get the Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series, sort of, icon or logo. I don't know what you want to call it. The design team and some of the names involved there on the bottom, and a huge barcode. I don't know why that's so big. Like, that's a really big barcode, not unnecessarily big. On the top, we get Beast of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series. We get this 19 points of articulation, realistic movement, profile card included. What does that mean? Is there like a baseball card in here? I really hope it's that Todd McFarlane baseball card. It won't be. 13, is that, I don't know. Like I said, this is my first one. Is this number 13 in the Ceratopsian series? Does anybody know? Feel free to let me know. Avaceraops lammersi. So you get sort of the bio on the back here. Ava's horned face. Huh. Collectible card inside. Okay, there you go. There's my answer. There's the information. 4.2 meters or 14 feet long. Some more information. Art by Paul Ramos. So there you go. There's the answer to my question. It's a nice open plastic on that side. So this just slides off, and then we get that on the back. So 1/18 scale says right there. I think a lot of the Raptor series was 1/6, but I feel like more of the Beasts of Mesozoic are 1/18, which is good, because that means they will work with Cyberzoic going forward, I think. But there we go. So 13, Avaceraops. So I'm answering my own questions. 11, Wendy Ceratops. 12, Inosaurus, and so on and so forth. You get a bunch of ceratopsians. I didn't even know what a ceratopsian was until I bought this. Like I said, dinosaurs are cool, but I'm not a dino guy. I don't know anything about species of dinosaurs. These to me are all Triceratops. Okay, that's my level of dinosaur knowledge. And I looked at all these Triceratops, and I said that Triceratops is the one that I think looks the coolest. So that's the one that I'm gonna get. They're not all Triceratops. I get that. Although I did learn that Avaceraops is the only other ceratopsian that has a non-something frill, I think they call it. I don't know. It has something in common with the Triceratops, which was even more justification for me buying it. Anyways, that is the figure in the box. Let's get it out of the box. And of course, I already cut the tape because I am a professional. That sounded really sarcastic. It was not. I actually really did cut the tape. I am not a professional. But anyways, there you go. Now you do get this very nice, let me pull this out because I feel like it's easier. Is it not going to come out? Oh, hold on. Okay, so we do get this very nice little like display background. That's really glossy, which is a bit of a bummer, but so you could display your Avaceraops on there if you wanted to. Pretty nice. Again, as I say with sort of most of my action figures, you could give it to me in a brown paper bag, and I would be happy with it. Because the packaging is a bonus, but I don't need it or necessarily care. Oh no, I'm gonna need to heat this up. Am I gonna need to heat this up? There's my card in a little baggie here, which I'm gonna open. I knew I was gonna have to like cut him out of the thing there because I saw the little plastic ties, but I didn't know heating would be required. We'll see whether or not I can do it without heating it. Now, for anybody that has these, do I need to heat this? Is that going to be a thing? Will I have to like stall while I heat up water? Let's see. Let's see what's going on in the chat because I've seen a couple people join in the comments while I was rambling on. This thing says, "Dip the tail hole." Dip the tail hole in hot water or heat with a hairdryer for 20 seconds. Attach the tail to the ball joint on the figure. Do not force stiff joints. Yeah. This should be orange. This sheet should be orange. If you know, you know. The little collector card. This is kind of cool. I mean, I guess I don't need to. I was worried about that the box, but as somebody that doesn't keep boxes for the most part, I like that what was on there is on this card. I could just keep this card. I could just sort of file these away. That's cool. I like that. I don't need that, but it's cool. Let's see. Europe, says Quip. What's going on, Quip? Good to have you. Age 15 and up. I didn't even notice that. I don't even read those. It's like my kids are not 15 and up. But I'll tell you what, they play with just about everything that I buy. So my question anytime I talk to people that make toys is, can my kids play with these realistically? And if they say no, I go, thanks, but no thanks. So quickly, I'm going to try to quickly cut all these. I think that's all of them. Got the tail out, got the body out. Get that out of the way. It looks weird without the tail, obviously. And that is a stiff tail joint. I'm trying to get it so that it's sort of centered to see if I can get this tail on without. All right, let me give it a quick try. No, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I need hot water. But the rest of the figure, it kind of looks. Okay, let me see. First impressions. Without the tail on, it's kind of hard to make a first impression. But let me just quickly check the chat. See what you guys think. Put that like that. Rob Zbor says, not like that Hasbro 4 and up. Yeah, I mean, that's Hasbro's. So small criticism, right, about Hasbro with their plastics that are like too soft for the like classified weapons. I feel like they just need to kind of bite the bullet on that one and put, 12 and up or 14 and up on classified stuff and just make weapons that aren't noodles. Am I wrong? Isn't that the solution? Isn't it just that quick and easy? Anyways, Allison Troy is here. What is going on? Allison Troy says, greetings, my beautiful winter goblins. Welcome, Allison. Happy to have you. Quip says Triceratops family. Yeah, exactly. They're all ceratopsians. Is that what it's called? Yeah, ceratopsians. I'll be honest. Between Beasts of the Mesozoic And Cyberzoic, I'm learning a lot about dinosaurs. Family of dinos the Triceratops belongs to. Yeah, I mean it's close enough, right? It's close enough. Star says thank you for not doing the knife thing on camera. It's worse for you than it is for me, that's for sure. Quip says my favorite family of dinosaurs is Pachycephalosaurus. They're the bone-headed dinos that headbutt each other. I thought, like literally until just now, when you wrote that, I thought Pachycephalosaurus was a specific dinosaur. I really like those ones too, though. Now I just heard the kettle boil. I didn't start it. I don't know if my wife heard me or if she's making tea, but I'm gonna go steal some hot water. I'll be back in 15 seconds. My wife, who doesn't watch the show, allegedly was at the very least paying attention because she decided to heat up the kettle for me. All right, so let's get this tail in some hot water. 20 seconds, right? So that should be quick. Let's see. Quip says star. You don't dig when reviewers unboxers use comically large knives to cut tape? I don't. I use this. This is not that's not a very big knife, and it's a utility knife. It's like a pocket knife. There's virtually zero danger. Brick, who bait and switched me into getting into Cyberzoic, is here hanging out. Good to see you. I bought a dino, Brick. All right, so hopefully that is long enough to get this tail. Oh, it just pops right on. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. There you go. Tail is on. Hot water no longer necessary. Let me move that. I'm going to put that on the ground so I don't spill it on anything or anyone. I'll probably spill it on myself by doing that, but anyway, that's fine. All right, so there we go. We have our ceratopsian. Let me quickly change this camera angle. I promise I'll only do it once, so long as I get a decent angle. That will do. That'll be fine, right? Like that. Quip says, yeah, dip that tail hole. Don't force it. Warm it up and ease it on in there. It was actually really easy, which is kind of crazy because that's a big chunk of plastic. And that water wasn't even boiling. I never actually boil the water when I do that. And it went on no problem at all. Now, I know that some of them are like bendy tails. I don't think this one, or a wired tail. This one I think is just, it's bendy, but it's not wired. I'm going to quickly sort of go over this figure and then I'll jump back in the chat there. Hopefully I don't fall too far behind. Star says, all I see is that blade going right through the figure. I think if that was mine, I'd be lost. Oh, I thought you were worried about me, Star. Figures can be replaced. Fingers can't. Anyways. Let's see. I'm going to try to catch up on a few more comments and then I'll take a look at the articulation and sort of what I think of this guy. Allison Troy, get it hot and wet. I always do. Brick says, all my beasts of the Mesozoic needed heat. Okay, good to know. It's a snug fit, so take your time. Got it. That paint job is gorgeous, says Brick, which is 90% of why I bought this one. I was like, if nothing else, right? If I decide that if I get this guy in hand and I decide I don't like these, my kids are still gonna like this dinosaur. That was my motivation. That was like, a big part of like why I picked the dinosaur that looks like a dinosaur. I know that all the ones that are like yellow and brown and red and so on and so forth are, as far as we can tell, scientifically accurate. This one just looked a little more fun. This one was, a green dinosaur, which I just thought seemed right, seemed appropriate. Star says, I heard a story that Hasbro is outsourcing to McFarlane. I really don't think that's true. From some of the things that I know, that would shock me. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying I don't believe it's true. Thanos said, I hope she's making tea. I don't think she is, Thanos. I think she just overheard me talking about how I needed hot water, and she just made some hot water. Because she's lovely and wonderful and does not support my toy habit, but does support my toy habit, if that makes sense. Brick Star, is that linked to the announcement of the page punchers using Hasbro licenses? That, okay, maybe there's something in that. Yes. There is. McFarlane is going to make some, what are they, like 3 inches tall? Like just a different kind of figure that come with a comic book. McFarlane does the DC page punchers. Quip says, nope, there are a few different types of Pachycephalosaurus, my favorite of which being the Stygimoloch. Okay, so I know of Pachycephalosaurus, and I also know of the Stygimoloch. Mine isn't the Stygimoloch. Mine is one that I just thought was called the Pachycephalosaurus. So I'm going to have to figure out which Pachycephalosaurus is my favorite. I'm pretty sure that Cyberzoic is doing one in Cyberzoic 2, and it's the one that I like. Now, like I said, I don't know what the actual species that I like is called. The deeper down this rabbit hole I go, the dumber I feel. So, Allison Troy said, talk amongst yourselves. The topic is organic corn versus non-organic corn and why both do not digest. Well, I was back before I even got to that comment, so it never. Maybe it did. Brick said, that's a ridiculous knife. Get a box cutter. I have box cutters, but this one's more. This is. I use this for everything. I build IKEA furniture with this. It's got scissors. It's got a knife. It's got pliers. It's got multiple screwdrivers. It's got. This is my. This isn't quite my everyday carry, but it's about as close to it. This tool is actually designed to cut plastic. So this is actually designed to cut like the bubble off of action figure card backing. It's not, but it's for that type of thing. Bottle opener. Like I said, multiple screwdrivers. It's got this thing that has a file on one side, and you can measure things on this side. It doesn't tell you what the measurements are, but this is just my go-to. But anyway, I could use a box cutter. I won't, because that would be one more thing in my drawer of random things. Star says, I'm a carcharodontid kind of guy. I don't know what that one means. But then Star says, give me Acrocanthosaurus any day of the week. I have either good news or bad news for you, Star. Acrocanthosaurus is going to be in Cyberzoic 2. So before you know it, Acrocanthosaurus is going to be in Beasts of the Mesozoic as well. You don't have to collect all the things, Star. You could still get an Acrocanthosaurus, though. Quip says, I only know dinosaurs again because my daughter was big into Dino Dana on Amazon Prime. You know what? My kid was into Dino Dan too for a minute, and then she just kind of lost interest in it. Thanos says it's a super pretty dino. Brick says keep the water around for the joints unless you felt them out already. I'm not gonna go too hard on like trying to pose this because I'll give the whole figure a hot bath. Star says, is that a wired tail? It is not. I'm gonna skip a few of these comments because there you go, Thanos. There's your answer, but you've probably already seen this. My lovely wife Amanda said Thanos baking cookies, so was standing near the kettle to heat it up for him. So she's just always the supportive wife. Jeff Morris is here, and he says McFarlane is licensing some Hasbro lines such as G.I. Joe and would be making Joe Page punchers. That's cool. I would be into that. Quip says green dino with lizard skin. All you feathered dino folks can kick rocks. I kind of like that they're feathered. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's just kind of a cool thing. Lee 86 says, anybody see the Nanmu Velociraptor? Looks cool. I don't know what that is. I apologize, Lee 86. As a non-dino guy, you'll have to forgive me. Is Nanmu a brand? Let me know. Thanos, I believe it's just the small page punchers. Quip says she doesn't support the habit, but still supports you and your dreams. A+ wife, 10 out of 10. I would agree. That is all very true. If I told her I wasn't going to buy any more action figures, she would be very, very happy to hear that. But she knows that I would probably spend my money somewhere else anyway. So, Star says my wife would support my action figure right out the door. So would mine if that was an option, but she knows at this point that that's probably not going to happen. Attorney in Ellipse is here. What is going on, Attorney in Ellipse? Good to have you. Allison Troy says, don't forget to give your Stigi Moloch figgy pudding on Christmas Eve per the tradition of the Elder Yule Tides. You can use it to eat those sweet meatballs. Please just tear the tape. No blades or metal parts of any kind near the figs. They never get near the figs. Don't worry. That's the thing. They never get near the figs. I've been doing this for a while, so I'm not really that worried about it. Anyways, okay. Oh, I thought I was caught up on the chat. I'm not even close to caught up on the chat. Let's see. Brick says Nanmu is a brand. Beautiful stuff. Size comparison? Size comparison between this and what? Because I don't have any more dinosaurs, let alone 1/18 scale dinosaurs. Let's see. Ray Paz is here as well. Ray Paz, good to have you here. I will remind you, I will have Ross and Chris from Creative Beast on Sunday. So if you've got questions, bring them. Brick says figs. Yes. Okay. I will compare them to some figs. First, I'm going to quickly look at this figure. So beautiful paintwork, lots of vibrant colors, really, really fun. Like I said, that's why I picked this one. I was actually planning to pick this guy up at Legion's Con. They had one on the table and it sold before I could get there and buy it for myself. So yeah, I mean, green isn't a green dinosaur like the iconic color for a dinosaur. Articulation wise, this guy's pretty impressive. So you got the tail that moves because it's been heated up. You've got sort of a mid torso articulation point. It's really stiff, so I'm not going to force it. You've got neck, which I believe is a ball joint as well. The head will look up and down. The jaw is articulated. And again, I'm not going to force that too much either. You know, you got the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. In you know, human terms, obviously this is not a human, so that doesn't really apply, but you get the idea. And the foot is actually on a ball joint, so you get nice range of motion there, forward and back, side to side, so pretty posable. The legs are very posable as well, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's on a ball joint as well. So there's actually like a decent amount of motion that you can get out of that. It's sculpted. I don't know what the technical way to describe it is, but there's sort of a curvature behind there. Like it's not just sort of plugged in. The body itself sort of curves, and then the leg curves in there as well. So you can sort of see there that there's a you know, nice shape to it, nice sculpt to it, and you're going to be able to get some good articulation there, some good posability. Like I said, I don't want to force it, because you know, I don't want my first piece of the Mesozoic right out of the box to take that much abuse. But paint wise, as I said, you know, you get that sort of light cream color on the belly. There's the yellow, there's greens, multiple shades of green, the brown on the back. There's also sort of a burgundy color there in with the brown, and a nice sort of turquoise blue. There's some yellow on the head, some nice paint apps on the horns as well. The horns and the beak look really nice. The eyes are a little glossier. I don't think it's going to pick it up. There's a bit of a gloss to it. So, I mean, a lot going on paint app wise here. So very, very impressive in that respect. It's a very, very nice, it's a very nice dinosaur. It is, and this is a smaller one. They've got bigger ones. They've got, you know, all the Cyberzoic stuff. There, that way you can see all four of his feet and his tail at the same time. Her, I don't know. Ava, I guess it's Ava. Maybe it's a she. I'm gonna say it's a she. Let's jump into the chat here again. Before I compare it to some figures, Amanda says, I usually play the videos. I don't normally listen, but in the kitchen, I can hear everything he says. Also, I am baking, watching Survivor, and being Adam's assistant. Brick wants to see it next to other figs, like Snake Eyes riding in her Crocmaster. Oh, you want to see it with a 6-inch figure too? Okay, I could do that. Allison Troy says, Amanda, Survivor is really good this season. She's watching it. My sister-in-law comes over and they watch it pretty regularly. I think they watched 2 episodes today, or they're currently watching the 2nd episode while I'm doing videos. They watch things that I don't while I watch videos. It actually works out really, really well. And then the things that we all watch together, I can't record videos on those nights, but that's okay. Star says, the leaders in the dinosaur market, Nanmu, Reborn, W Dragon, and Star's personal favorite, Pinso, all are quite nice. Are those all articulated, or are they fixed? Like, I'm new to it. I think the Pinso stuff is fixed. It's more statue, or is the other stuff as well? I'm curious. Let's see. Thanos Copter says, I was out when Survivor wasn't like Lord of the Flies. My question for them today was, when was the last season that had a showmance? I said, I lost interest after that. Jay says, I have dinosaurs on my staircase. I know that to be a fact because I've seen Jay's staircase. Let's see. This is true. I almost missed the start of this video because I heard them getting excited over the show and I wanted to go see what was going on. So at like 2 minutes to, I ran out there because they were getting really excited. Jay says, I like their Smilodon. Their Smilodon is on my order. I'm definitely going to be picking that up. Brick says, I really respect the team's research and the detail they throw into these. Yeah, they're pretty cool. What kind of plastic is it made of? Is it harder or softer? The figure, like this part is harder. The tail is softer. Um, like the majority of it is a little bit harder. The tail is the only piece that seems to be a softer plastic. The feet feel a little bit softer too, but it's hard to tell because they're it's just kind of a chunk of foot. Whereas like with the tail, I can bend it. It's not wired, but you can bend it. So if this does a shelf dive, I'm not really worried about it breaking, because the tail will just sort of take a bit of an impact before it would break, I think so. And Star says non-articulated except for the jaws. Okay. Let's see. Am I caught up? Is that am I actually looking at the end of the chat there? Wow, wow, wow. Okay, good. Let's do some comparisons. Now, for Brick wanted to see a classified figure on this. Let me grab a classified figure because there's one behind me. So you wanted to see Snake Eyes next to the dino. He's quite a bit bigger. I don't have the angle that I have the camera set at doesn't really work. Here, that's sort of the like this guy is about 3.5 inches tall, to the back. So it's about waist height for a 6-inch figure. As far as getting Snake Eyes to sit on him, her, it's a bit odd. He's the Avaceraops is a little bit smaller, so I think 6-inch scale wise, this could be a very small dino. This could be like a baby of some sort. Now this isn't 6-inch scale, but I do have a Plunderling. I think a Plunderling would work very, very well. There you go, Plunderling on top of Avaceraops. Still feels small, like the Avaceraops still feels small for a Plunderling. Now, as far as 1/18th scale goes, because Cyberzoic is 1/18th scale, this is 1/18th scale. So G.I. Joe modern figure, which is a 4-inch figure, is going to be about the same height. It's a little bit taller. If I had like a straight line of sight. Chuckles is just ever so slightly taller. The dinosaur comes up above his shoulder, but not much more than that. Now, if you want to look at something like Black Series is a little bit smaller. So I have this Tusken Raider Boba Fett guy, whatever he's called. So the back of this guy is about as tall as a Black Series figure. What I think is sort of the most appropriate comparison, because I don't know this, and on Sunday I plan to ask this. I think Joy Toy is where I think Joy Toy more or less is going to scale to the Cyberzoic figures. The Cyberzoic 1/18 I think is closer to Joy Toy, and Joy Toy and G.I. Joe are about the same size. Black Series TVC, I said Black Series again. But yes, Brick, you're 100% right. This is a vintage collection TVC figure, not Black Series. TVC, yes. But the modern G.I. Joe figures are about 4 inches. Their proportions are a little bit funny though. Whereas Joy Toy, the proportions feel a little bit more accurate, a little bit better. So Joy Toy, I think, scales really, really well. And so if this is a 1/18th scale dinosaur with this Joy Toy figure, I'm excited because I basically looked at the measurements from this, compared that to things like the beasts of the Mesozoic Triceratops, the beasts of the Mesozoic T-Rex, the beasts of the Mesozoic um, other things, whatever, and sort of got an idea of sort of what they're going to look like size wise. And again, I got this guy because I couldn't wait for the Cyberzoic dinos. I got this guy because I couldn't wait for the Cyberzoic figures. So I wanted to get a bit of an idea of like what Cyberzoic is probably going to look like. And I think that between Joy Toy and Beast of the Mesozoic, I'm part of the way there. Jeff Morris says scales better with 1/18 figures. Agreed. I think, you know, I want dinos to be a little bit bigger. I know that there was small dinosaurs, but knowing that this thing is 1/18 scale, I think they just seem to fit better with 1/18. Now, somebody, it might have been Brick, said Plunder. Yeah, Plunderlings look rad with it. It really does. And Plunderlings, I've said this before, you know, they kind of fit with anything. Now, it doesn't really fit with Joy Toy. It seems a little bit odd to have that next to a Joy Toy, but Plunderling with the dino it is pretty fun, and it does sort of work. But just in terms of getting an idea of what Cyberzoic is kind of going to look like on the shelf, I think Beast of the Mesozoic with a Joy Toy figure next to it is like as close as I can get until I actually get the Cyberzoic stuff. So very, very pleased that I love how these look together. I'll be perfectly honest. The dinos are cool, but when you add the action figures and then the armor that we're going to be getting on these and stuff like that, I'm in. I'm down. Quip says Motu Origins would probably work nicely. Yeah, I mean Motu Origins is like somewhere in the middle, right? So I think those would work for sure. Especially if you're just adding dinosaurs into the world. Like if you're world building and you're sort of just adding, if you want to add a dino or two into a shelf display or what have you, I think these would work just fine. So it'll scale well with JP Hammond collection. Makes sense. I think so. I don't have any of the Hammond collection stuff yet. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Clip says Lando. I really want that the gamer greats Lando figure. Even though I now know that like TVC scales a little bit small with the 1/18 stuff, I still want that gamer's greats Lando with the yellow shirt. It just looks so good. But I got too much other stuff to buy. Jay says looks very nice. It does. It's very nice. Brick says that Joy Toy and Beast of the Meso combo looks great. Good preview of your fully self-initiated Cyberzoic collection. You take that back. you know that's not 100% accurate. It was. I am my own man, but Brick did help in that regard. They look really good together. Jay says, how much are Plunderlings? Plunderlings are priceless. They are amazing and adorable. And I don't know. I think at Legion's Con, I want to say that I paid $30 for them. But it just depends where you get them. They're fun. Jay, you should get one. You should get a Plunderling, at least one. Allison Troy says, I got to chat with Emily C about designing that yellow shirt Lando. It's pretty magnificent. It is pretty magnificent. And you guys aren't helping me not buy it. But they scale a little bit too small, right? Like I really wanted for TVC to scale the same, but they're a little small. Why did they do that? TVC scales a little bit small for 1/18. Black Series scales a little bit small for 112. Why do they do that? Ugh. Brick says, Hammond Collection T-Rex, one of my favorites, but not scientifically accurate if that matters. It can stand on its own, though, and poses up wonderfully. Full disclosure, the Hammond Collection T-Rex is currently on its way to my house. Jay says, I think I need a plunderling in my life. I agree. 100%. Allison Troy says, but the love she put into that design. Okay, fine. I'll figure out where to pick that figure up, and I will get that figure. Because that's just a great looking Lando figure. I mean, it's so absurd, that yellow shirt with the cape, with everything. It's such an absurd figure. But I just feel like I need it. Yeah, I love that figure. Jeff Morris, and this is okay. So I actually figured this out on my own and completely forgot that I had figured this out. Jeff Morris says the vintage collection is based on 3.75, and then the other modern 118 scale are 4-inch. Same with Joe's. O-ring Joe's are smaller than modern construction 4-inch Joe's. Yes, yeah, exactly. And I get that, Star Wars, the original vintage Star Wars stuff is 3 3/4 inches. So I actually kind of appreciate that they did that, because that means that world building wise, if you have any of the old vehicles, they would work. And if you get the new vehicles, they would work. It just means that I'm not going to be buying any of the new vehicles or many of the new figures, because they don't quite fit with Cyberzoic, which is now sort of the starting point for my 118th world building. Thanos says, need to make the Atom I'm not into dinos face paint meme. Yeah, that's about as accurate as you could get. And that's probably the first time that meme has been sort of accurate to me. Amanda says, my little buddy. And Brick says, yeah, this. So, okay, story time. Since Amanda's clearly paying attention and hanging out. A while back in the summer, I took Pale with us when we went on a wine tasting tour with some friends of ours, and I warned Amanda that I was taking Pale. I had a button up. I looked very respectable. I had a button up shirt with a pocket on the front, and an action figure in that pocket. And we took pictures with Pale as we went along through all the wine tastings. And my wife thought it was embarrassing and silly and didn't understand why I would bring an action figure along. And the other couple that we were with thought it was really fun and lighthearted and were participating very, very quickly. They were posing Pale up and having a lot of fun with Pale. And I got a lot of pictures, and I didn't take all of those pictures. So then fast forward to the trip that we took to Vancouver, where we actually met up with you, Brick. And the person posing action figures in the van and taking pictures with them was, in fact, my wife. It had nothing to do with me. She now packs. Now my camera angle's wrong. She now packs Pale and Goyle when we go out, so that she can have them to pose and play with as we go. So Goyle, this plunderling, and Pale are best of friends, and they are travel companions, and neither of them ever goes anywhere without the other. So there you go. There's more on my wife, who doesn't support my habit but does support my habit. She is before too long she's gonna be the one buying action figures, I think. I think it's a slippery slope. You start playing with the action figures, you start posing them up, you stay. I mean, I guess she's a toy photographer, technically. So I don't know. I don't know how long she's going to be able to hold out before she sees an action figure that she really wants to take a picture of and buys it for herself. um, Jay says, I saw the Plunderlings display at Legion's Con and it was mind blowing. It's awesome. It's a fantastic display. I talked to them when they were setting it up, and it's actually like a husband and wife and their sons there with them, and like everybody gets involved. Like I want to say that like grandma's even there, like grandma's hanging out and posing figures and like putting them on the display, and they never do this display the same twice. They sort of play with their toys and pose them up and put them on the display. So um Brick says, truth be told, the reason I know the name Goyle is because I looked it up just now for a possible purchase. My Grotto needs a friend. Brick has Grotto, the little horned plunderling. They're awesome, man. They're so much fun. If I go back to Legion's Con, if I go to a con and I see plunderlings again, I'll probably pick up a couple more because I still need to get Zombone. I still need to get Cheddar. I still need to get Ash. And then there's the Plunder Longs, and then there's the Plunder Strongs. And then there's accessory packs that go with them. And we established the other day on a video that what they need to do is seasonal packs. You need to be able to get a Santa hat for Goyle, or a like a green top hat for St. Patrick's Day, or maybe like a pumpkin head thing for Halloween or whatever, because that's they're leaving money on the table by not doing that. Jay says, I bring action figures on all our adventures. Well, we're slowly becoming that family too. And like I said, it's not just me. Thanos says, I know every time I get stuck out somewhere, I wish I had an action figure with me. I mean, I didn't take action figures with me everywhere for a long time, and it's only within the last year or so. But I usually take one or two. I don't even take that many accessories. It's just you go somewhere, you can pose it and take a picture or something. When I take a picture of some like boring landscape that no one's going to care about, but I put an action figure in it, it's like more interesting for me, and it's more interesting for the person who's going to end up seeing that picture later on. Allison says, it just sometimes takes taking a shine to the right action figure. You're not wrong. Unboxing Art is here. What's going on? He says, love Goyle. Yeah, he's a great little figure. And Amanda says, I'm a photographer now. She is. Let's see. Thanos says, I took a very nice plunderling shot the other day. I'll have to take a look. Brick says, how much are they at cons? Plunderlings, I think, are like $30. The little ones, so there's the hatchlings, and apparently they're like 10 or $15. They're like a 5 POA that you can put the extra heads on. But anyways, are we good? Are we done? We'll just chat in the comments. I'm good. I'm hanging out. They're watching TV. So, Thanos Copter says, really looking forward to the Plunder Long Rusty Tinker. The Plunder Longs are cool. I had sort of planned for Legion's Con to get like 2 Plunderlings, a Plunder Strong, and a Plunder Long. I didn't know that they didn't have the Plunder Longs out yet. And to be honest, when I got a Plunderling and I got Goyle and opened it on like the first day, and then I went back and bought like 6 more Plunderlings. And then I didn't have room in my suitcase or in my budget for the Plunder Strongs. But like I said, there's definitely going to be room next time. So Amanda said, the Plunderlings are my favorite right now, though. I do like the AWOCs. Didn't realize how advanced the articulation has come from the 80s and 90s. Slowly winning her over. Jay says, I have car figures. That's a good idea. Just put one or two in the glove box. Then you get pulled over and they're like, oh, I just got to get my insurance out of my glove box. You pull out action figures. Unboxing art. I'm all in on the Plunderverse. Got the Drenched Long and Strong Kickstarter exclusive and love them. So that I was late to the party. That Plunder Strong drenched figure. Oh man, I wish I could have gotten that figure. For anybody that doesn't know what a drenched figure is, that's a translucent figures. So this is a drenched figure. They're like the aquatic ones. So they have more like a frog foot, and they have like a different ear. There you go for reference. And they're all translucent. The drenched figures are translucent. This one's purple, so he's not as, you can't quite see it as much as some of the other ones. But anyway, they're awesome. If you don't have a Plunderling figure, go get one. Are there any green Plunderlings? I wouldn't mind getting one or two of those for my Yoda tribute dio, Teenage Yoda and the Lost Weekend. The drenched Plunder Strong is green, but as of yet, there's none of these in green. But who knows? Maybe there will be soon. Jay's car figures are Cobra Bats right now. There you go. Mana says, you should see how many pictures I have on my phone for my kids taking photos with the figures. I thought I grabbed the wrong phone. My camera on my phone has a lot of toy pictures. Now my wife's does too. Unboxing Art says they have a green Plunderling and Strong. They have a green Plunderling? Do they? Oh man. Now I need that one too. Unboxing Art says the drenched teeth and eyes glow in the dark. How did I not know that? Really? Well, I know what I'm going to be doing as soon as I'm done this video. I'm going to be testing that out. Oh man, now I need more Plunderlings. At least my wife won't be upset about that. Star says, I can see a turf war happening soon between the Plunderlings and the Smurfs. Might make for a good dio. I mean, Plunderling, okay. Like, how that's a Smurf, right? Like, that's awesome. It's right there. Thanos says, I have the Fawn. That one is green. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have that one. Oh, I guess he is green. Yeah. I can't remember what his name is, but he's green. He's not, well, I guess he is kind of Yoda green, isn't he? I don't know why I didn't think of this guy. But yeah, there you go. There's a green Plunderling. He's not quite the same. He's a Plunder Fawn. But yeah. Unboxing Art says Berserker Gobbler is the green Plunderling. He has an axe. He had an axe and a Viking. Oh man, I don't know that one. Now I need that one. Dang it. How did this turn from a video where I was unboxing something and telling you guys how cool it was to like, now I need to go and buy more stuff? This is not the way it's supposed to work. Jay says, any Canadian retailers carrying Plunderlings? Not that I'm aware of, Jay. But we'll chat later. I'll get you Plunderling. Jay, you figure out which one you want. You let me know and I'll get it for you. I've got some stuff to mail to you anyway, so Jay says Smurfs are 2 apples tall. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's about 1 apple tall, so I guess they're not in scale with Smurfs. I guess Smurfs are bigger than Plunderlings. Unboxing Art, Plunderlings are addicting. They pose so well and are so fun. Yeah, and I've talked about them on other videos before, where like they work, like they work in every scale. because you don't really, because their proportions are funny, because they got the Popeye arms and like the thick legs and the big feet and like the big goofy heads. Like they work in every scale. Like he doesn't look out of place in 1/18 scale. It's cartoonish, right? Like it's goofy, but it works with 1/18 scale. It works with 1/12 scale. I suspect even in a 1/6 scale, it just makes him a little bit smaller. But because he's cartoony and goofy, why wouldn't it work, right? You just get a different vibe. You get a different sort of look to the character depending on which scale you kind of use them in. But they are so much fun, and just it's a really, really fun line. And like I said, after meeting the guys at Legions Con, it's a brand and a company that I'm 100% behind. So Jay says, I saw snorkels on ice. Star says you knew the risks when you started this. No, it's supposed to go the other way, Star. I'm supposed to show you guys cool stuff, and you're supposed to go, oh, that's cool, I'll go buy that. It's not supposed to work the other way. I feel like I'm being mobbed here a little bit. I feel like you guys are ganging up on me and bullying me into buying more stuff. It's not my fault that I need more. Brick, has any customizer tried to do more realistic paint on plunderlings yet? I haven't seen it. I mean, I get, like, I don't know if I would want to see that. Like, in a weird way, they're like perfect as they are, you know? Like it's just an adorable little, I don't know. I mean, how would you make him more? Let's be okay. Quick tangent. This isn't a quick tangent. This tangent's been going on for a while now. How would you make this more realistic? That's the question. What would a realistic paint job on this guy be? Because he's a little goblin with big giant ears and a toothy grin and black eyes. Like, I don't know what you would do to make that guy realistic. Texture shading, eyelids. Okay, yeah, so just doing something a little bit different. That would be cool. Jay says that's a tiny Skeletor troll. You know what? I'm so not a Motu guy that I didn't see it. But yeah, 100%. You get the colors there. He comes with a little sword too, so that's Goyle. I should mention this because I feel like people have never seen Goyle. This comes off. This hood comes off. And all of them come with 3 interchangeable heads. So you get, actually, because of the 3 that I've pulled, you'll have to sort of imagine this. They all come with sort of open teeth. They all come with exposed teeth, and then they all come with a smile. So out of the box, they come with sort of this smile, and then you get the alternate heads. And the accessories are really cool. I feel like I'm doing a Plunderlings video now. The accessories are really cool because all the hats are magnetic. So you can see right there, there's that little, I don't know if it's a metal plate or if that's the magnet. But then in the hats, there is also, and they're interchangeable. So all the heads, you could put that on him. You could put that on the Drench figure, and so on and so forth. Now, I've never even thought to do this. So they don't fit on these guys with the horns because the horns they're different. They don't fit the same. But anyways, go buy some Plunderlings. Enough about Plunderlings. Let's see. Star, always with the lore. Is there any official lore for the Plunderlings in any substantial amount that we can get a hold of? To the best of my knowledge, no. And that's sort of my only. Now it's weird because this is a line where I don't need it. I don't necessarily want it. Like, the fun of these is partly that I don't have a lore to sort of look at and sort of use as a reference. But yeah, Jay says, I don't think I ever took the time to appreciate them before. That was me. That was me before I went to Legion's Con. And now I love them. I love Plunderlings. Do you think they'll do any holiday themed sets of Plunderlings, maybe a Halloween group, Christmas group? I hope so. Like I said, they're leaving money on the table by not doing that. In my opinion, that would be an accessory pack that would, because they're, like I just showed you, right? That all the hats are interchangeable. So, you know, even if you only have one Plunderling, you could have every seasonal sort of, you know, you get a pack of like 4 or 5 or 6 seasonal accessories for different holidays, and you only need one Plunderling to go with it. So anyways, we're talking about this beast of the Mesozoic, Avaceraops. That was that was the whole purpose of this video. And I don't want to get, you know, too deep into Plunderlings. We could save that for another day. I'm always happy to talk about Plunderlings. Feel free to message me, and I say this all the time. If you guys want to message me in chat, I'm always open to chatting with people about toys. I just like to talk about toys. You know, this is the venue where I do it, but you know, I talk about toys when I'm not doing videos too. Avaceraops is really, really nice. Beast of the Mesozoic, I'm very, very impressed. If the figure scale with Joy Toy, I think the combination looks really, really good together. Like they genuinely look, they look like they fit, and that just sort of inspires a lot of confidence in me that the Cyberzoic stuff is going to look really, really good. Now, on the topic of Cyberzoic, I will be chatting with Ross and Chris from the Creative Beast team about Cyberzoic on Sunday. Should be a fun chat. Those guys are a ton of fun. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle Chris. Chris Chaotic on Instagram. He's got a lot of energy, so we'll see if we can channel that into some good chat. I think it should be a lot of fun. Brick is going to be joining me as my co-host to ask the serious questions while I ask the funny questions. Probably Brick will just ask all the good questions, and I'll just be there. But it'll be a lot of fun. Unboxing art. Oh yeah, there's a dinosaur here. Jay says, do a Plunderlings review next time. I did a Plunderlings review and nobody watched it. It was fun to do, and I don't think anybody paid attention. You clearly missed it. You blew it, Jay. Got to update the thumbnail with Goyle photobombing. I might do that because that's it's just fun. And Plunderlings are fun. Dino Riders. Yes, exactly. That's the thing, is that like if Mattel's not going to do Dino Riders, and I've talked about this on other videos before, I would love to have Dino Riders come back. Mattel bought Tyco, so technically they legally would own the license. They have Jurassic Park. They already have the dinos. They already have the molds. They could just do it. They haven't. And if they're not going to do it, somebody else will, then I will happily go and buy somebody else's product. So Creative Beast is doing Cyberzoic. I'm very, very excited for it. Very, very excited to be talking to a couple of those guys about that. So Brick says, I'm bringing a whip for Chris. I'm not sure if he's into that, Brick, but, you know, by all means, you bring a whip. Brick's going to be bad cop and you're good cop. Sure. If I would be a cop at all, I would be on their side. I would be like that terrible cop. If I'm a cop, I'm like Axel Foley. I don't always play by the rules. We talking Cyberzoic all night. We'll see. But I'd be happy to. I'm excited about Cyberzoic. Allison Troy says, you're only in it for the views. What about the art? This is not art, Allison. This is not art. I'm in it for the chat. I'm in it for the conversations. And Jay missed it. So, you know, Jay says, none of us cared. Now we do. Well, all right. I'll have to get another one. I guess I'll have to get another one and do a review. I don't know which one to get next. But I could probably solve that very pertinent problem pretty easily. Anyways, I unboxed one dinosaur and we've gone, you know, an hour and over 15 minutes. So I think I'm going to wrap it up, call it a night. I got one more video to record tonight. I've got, like I said, Highly Articulated coming up on Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be talking, Brick and I are going to be talking about Cyberzoic with the guys from Cyberzoic. I probably should have mentioned that. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys all for joining me. As I always say, it is more fun to open toys with friends. I could do this, you know, at home by myself, but it's just way more fun to do it with other people and to hang out and chat and you know, get other people's opinions, get bullied into future purchases, try to bully other people into future purchases, and so on and so forth. So anyways, it's been a great time, and you guys make this fun for me, and you guys are the reason that I do this. So thank you for joining me. If you're watching the replay, I'm sorry that you couldn't have been here to hang out, you know, live, but maybe next time. Anyways, until next time, bye-bye.